The cheddar in your fridge might be hiding a scandal that could shock you. From environmental crimes caught on camera to salt levels higher than crisps, 6 British cheese brands are betting you'll never read the fine print. What we uncovered will change how you shop forever. Cheddar is Britain's most trusted cheese. We put it in sandwiches, serve it to our children, and assume the Union Jack on the packet means quality and safety. But behind the farmhouse imagery and heritage branding lies a different story. Some of the UK's best-selling cheddar brands have been caught misleading consumers, hiding dangerous salt levels, and even covering up environmental crimes. This investigation reveals which 6 brands you should avoid, why they failed our standards, and which alternatives actually deserve your money. Let's start with the truth most shoppers never see. Cheddar cheese was born in Somerset nearly 900 years ago. It became the backbone of British dairy, a symbol of quality craftsmanship passed down through generations. For centuries, traditional cheddar meant one thing: milk from local herds, slow aging in cloth, and flavor that developed naturally over months. But sometime in the last few decades, something changed. Industrial cheese production took over. Multinational corporations bought up heritage brands. Marketing departments discovered they could wrap cheap cheese in British flags and charge premium prices. Meanwhile, real British dairy farmers struggled to survive on unsustainable wages. The cheddar market today is a battlefield between tradition and profit, between authenticity and deception. And most shoppers have no idea which side they're funding when they reach for that familiar packet. We started by examining salt content across UK supermarket cheddar. The Food Standards Agency set maximum targets over a decade ago: 1.8 grams of salt per 100 grams. The goal was simple: reduce the burden of high blood pressure on public health. What we found was disturbing. Not only have average salt levels failed to decrease, in some cases they've actually risen. One reduced-fat cheddar marketed as a healthy choice contained more salt than any other cheddar tested: 2.0 grams per 100 grams, 11% above the maximum target. That means 2 slices deliver more salt than an entire packet of crisps. We then investigated ownership structures. Brands wrapped in Union Jacks turned out to be owned by French, Canadian, and Irish corporations. Money that should support struggling British dairy farmers was flowing overseas. Finally, we examined food safety records and environmental prosecutions. What emerged was a pattern of cost-cutting, corner-cutting, and active deception. The worst offender had deliberately tampered with pollution monitoring equipment to hide toxic breaches, but that revelation was just the beginning. The first major revelation came from Cornwall. Cathedral City, Britain's best-selling cheddar, with over £286 million in annual sales, is produced at the Davidstow Creamery. That facility pleaded guilty to 21 environmental offenses spanning 5 years. They released a biocide that killed thousands of fish across 2 kilometers of the River Inny. Local residents reported headaches and described their lives as blighted by foul odor from the plant. But here's what disturbed us most. During the investigation, an employee was filmed removing a wastewater monitor from the effluent tank and placing it in a bucket of clean water. That's not negligence, that's deliberate cover-up. The company was fined £1.52 million. Their annual profit, £21 million. The fine was a rounding error. The second discovery involved misleading health claims. A recent comprehensive survey tested 607 cheese products across UK supermarkets, measuring salt content against FSA targets. Asda's 30% less fat mature cheese came in as the saltiest cheddar tested. The healthy option was literally worse than regular cheese. This matters because 30% of UK adults have high blood pressure, rising to 60% for those aged 65 and over. High blood pressure costs the NHS over £2.1 billion annually. Professor Graham McGregor, chair of Action on Salt, said putting the food industry in charge of salt reduction was equivalent to putting Dracula in charge of the blood bank. An estimated 6,000 additional deaths have been attributed to stalled salt reduction progress, 4,000 of them premature and preventable. The third revelation concerned food safety failures. In early 2025, the Food Standards Agency issued recalls for multiple Little Deluxe cheddar products: sriracha, walnut, and oak-smoked varieties due to confirmed Listeria monocytogenes contamination. UK Health Security Agency data shows a case fatality rate of 20 to 30% for invasive listeriosis. The highest incidence occurs in people aged 80 and over, with hospitalization rates exceeding 90%. In pregnancy-associated cases, 43.7% result in stillbirth or miscarriage. Listeria can grow at refrigeration temperatures. Your fridge doesn't protect you. Finally, we examined processed cheese marketed to children. Dairy triangles contain only 50 to 60% actual cheese. The rest is skimmed milk powder, modified starch, and emulsifying salts, sodium phosphates and polyphosphates. Just 25 grams can contain up to 600 milligrams of phosphate, approximately half your recommended daily intake. Elevated phosphate levels correlate with cardiovascular problems and vascular calcification. In 2007, the Advertising Standards Authority banned dairy full of good stuff claim due to high salt and saturated fat content. Yet the brand continues marketing to children with fun formats and playful branding. Here are the 6 brands to avoid and why. Cathedral City, owned by Canadian multinational Saputo Inc., produced at a facility with the worst environmental prosecution record in southwest England, deliberately covered up pollution monitoring. Your premium price funds environmental crime. Asda 30% less fat mature cheese, the saltiest cheddar tested at 20 grams per 100 grams, 11% above FSA targets. The healthy label is dangerously misleading. Seriously Strong, owned by Groupe Lactalis, a French multinational operating with unusual secrecy. Uses accelerated aging and flavor enhancers rather than traditional methods. Your money flows to Laval, France, not British farmers. Pilgrim's Choice, wrapped in Union Jack imagery, but owned by Ornua, an Irish cooperative. Substantially sourced from Irish cheese while marketing as British. Deliberately vague labeling exploits patriotic assumptions. Little Deluxe Cheddar range, recent recalls for Listeria contamination. Budget premium positioning means something has to give. Sometimes it's safety testing. Dairy, not technically cheddar. Only 50 to 60% real cheese, loaded with phosphate additives. Banned advertising claims, but still marketed to children. Engineered to be cheap, shelf-stable, and addictive. Better alternatives: West Country Farmhouse Cheddar PDO, Morrison's own brand, Tesco Finest Vintage Farmhouse, Sainsbury's Greens of Glastonbury, or Yeo Valley Organic. Every week, millions of British families unknowingly fund environmental crimes, consume dangerously high salt levels, and feed their children processed products masquerading as real cheese. The consequences are measurable. High blood pressure from excessive salt contributes to 6,000 additional deaths annually. British dairy farmers earn just £2.90 per hour, while multinational corporations profit from Union Jack marketing. And food safety failures put vulnerable populations, elderly, pregnant women, immunocompromised individuals at serious risk. What should you do? First, check your fridge right now. If you have any of these 6 brands, consider switching. Second, start reading labels properly. Look for the yellow and blue PDO logo, check salt content, and verify origin claims. Third, when shopping at Tesco, Aldi, Lidl, or Sainsbury's, choose Morrison's own brand for value. Tesco Finest or Sainsbury's Taste the Difference for quality PDO options. Fourth, support British dairy farmers by choosing cheese actually produced in Somerset, Devon, Dorset, or Cornwall. Finally, teach your family to recognize real cheese from processed substitutes. Knowledge is the only protection against industrial deception. The biggest revelation isn't that some brands failed. It's that the entire system is designed to keep you uninformed. From hidden ownership structures to manipulated health claims, from covered-up environmental crimes to processed products marketed as real food, the cheddar industry has bet on your ignorance. But now you know. You know which brands to avoid, which alternatives to choose, and how to spot quality in store. The key takeaway is simple. Every purchase is a vote. When you choose real cheddar from transparent producers, you support British farmers, protect your health, and send a message that deception has consequences. Awareness matters now more than ever because change only happens when consumers refuse to be fooled. Which brand surprised you most? Have you bought any of these without knowing the truth behind the label? Drop your experience in the comments. Your story might help others make better choices. If you want more investigations like this, exposing what the food industry doesn't want you to know. Subscribe to the channel. We uncover hidden truths behind everyday UK foods, one story at a time. No corporate spin, no advertising influence, just honest investigations that put your health and your wallet first. Next time you're shopping, you'll know exactly what to avoid and why.